we got that going there. Ooh, yeah, look at that. We got audio now.
Oh, look at that. Ooh, yeah.
Okay, recording. It's time in 3, 2, 1.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
This is The Boop Show, episode 281, with Scott and Brian. Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to The Boop Show. If you're here live, hello and welcome. And if you're at home, hey, you're cool too. I mean, 99.9% of our content consumers are listeners, dude. That's how they get us, most of them.
Oh, really? 99% is just audio in your ear?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's pretty much all
hole?
my shows. Even the ones with the biggest live audiences, the vast majority are podcast listeners. Probably because that's where they all came from in the first place, but it's never. I love doing the live thing because we get all this tip of the spear people here. You know, the ones that are really dedicated, and they make me happy. So thanks for being here live, everyone. Hey, Brian.
Hey, Scott.
How was your week? Did it go okay? Your week of games and things? Did you have a good week? Hey, your birthday's in like 2 days.
My birthday is Friday, and I got an early gift that made my week, which was starting off kind of poopy. I mean, not really bad, but just It turned into something fantastic because I had something on my Amazon wish list I had forgotten about, and someone picked it up for me, a.k.a. my significant other picked me up.
I have that book. It's right over there. Ooh, I love that book.
Yeah, Art of Atari.
Yeah,
my
baby.
God, it's so gorgeous. And you just take a look inside this here book. It shows the great artwork that is included with those Atari games.
That thing of Pac-Man you just showed.
Yeah, that's like right in the center of the book.
Here's what's weird about that Pac-Man image. I swear the box.
It's freaky.
Well, the box had elongated wafers because the game didn't have dots. He ate little wafer-sized pixel things. Right. And I swear in the box art I had, he was eating the wafers in that same art you just showed me. But the one I just saw on your screen, those were dots. So I don't know what's going on. Is it a double version of it or something?
It must be. So look, here's an example of Atari art. If you've never experienced Atari art, we're mostly referring to the original Atari 2600 and the artwork that they included with their cartridges, the carts. If you can see, I don't know if you can see this really well or not, but there's this fantastic art that came on the carts. And then if you look racers, there, that little green box there, that's what the actual game looks like.
Yeah, that's the whole game. That's what was so great about those. The art was like beyond cool. And super detailed and amazing painters and all this stuff. And then the games they were illustrating were just poop.
Dots.
Yeah.
Were just little. It was all basically one step above Pong, which is to say that it was just a bunch of blocks bouncing around on the screen.
Theater of the mind, man. That's what we had back then. We had to make this stuff up in our heads. If you're going to play combat, you had to pretend like you knew what it was like to be in a tank in an arena type thing.
I would like to read I was hoping this book would have some of it. Now, this is mostly just the book on art, but I would really love to read more of the storylines because sometimes they would tell these almost great comic book stories in the carts, and I would just like to narrate some of those sometime. Just like I'd love to have somebody just super silky narrate some of that stuff.
Yeah,
I think that would be so much fun.
That'd be pretty cool. But I'm glad
that's my birthday present.
Nice. Did you get that for yourself or someone gave it to you early? Did you say?
No. My significant other gave this to me for my birthday. It was on my wish list because I kept thinking about it. I'm like, I don't know, maybe. But I got it, and I am so glad I do.
Yeah. When he says that, he means Brian had himself cloned some years ago, but it was kind of an accident in the laboratory. Right. And it's a little like Superman and when
I say significant other, I mean myself.
Yeah. Who's the other guy that's like Superman, but he's backwards?
Oh, that would be Bizarro.
Bizarro, yeah. So you like Bizarro Brian versus Brian.
Right.
And Bizarro
you would think it would be Namerpsp would be the...
Namerps.
You know, like Superman backwards. You would think that would be...
I know, because he had the backward S. He had...
right.
Everything about him was
Bizarro.
Like opposite.
That was Bizarro.
He sucks. He's a terrible, terrible villain. Anyway, yeah, well, that's good. Happy early birthday, and I'm sure we'll talk about that again before too long. I spent most of my time trying to scratch a particular itch. And it has to do with today's game. So when I get to today's game, you will learn that it is I'm probably the most excited about it scratching the particular itch I have. But I have an ancient or future, but not current day city building itch. I want to build stuff way in the thousands of years in the future, or I want to build stuff way back in time in the 1800s or further. I don't want to build anything today. I don't want to build SimCity.
Okay.
I don't want city skylines. I don't want all that shit. I don't want any of that.
So
I want future.
You're not interested in building a city on the back of a turtle that is going through the Wandering Village. You're not interested in that.
What is that? I want that kind of. What is that?
Yeah, you haven't seen the Wandering Village?
No.
It's an upcoming game that when I saw it, I was like, oh, this is gonna fit right in what Scott's talking about. It's kind of like it's building on the back of a moving turtle, a giant big turtle. I'll send you a link in the.
Oh, didn't they show this at some E3 a while back or something?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now the Wandering Village. Yeah, the Wandering Village.
The Wandering Village.
Is that what you said? I think you said that.
I think that's what I said.
Let me go to there's a Steam page with a wish list and a whatnot. It says no date yet, but
soonish.
Let's put this on.
But I don't want to get distracted with that. I want you to tell me about your city building experience.
Well, I will. I'll tell you about the game I'm playing now, but I'll tell you where I've been also. In between all of this, I've gone everywhere from installing the old Impressions games, Caesar 3, Pharaoh and the Cleopatra expansion, and I forgot the one set in ancient China. It's not Lost Kingdom. Middle Kingdom. Something of the Middle Kingdom. Middle Kingdom of the Emperor's thing.
Middle Finger Kingdom.
I really like that one. But I install all of those with some mods to make them go widescreen and 4K and all that. They're playable and they look fine, but there are things about those games that haven't aged perfectly well in terms of control and stuff. But I love the core of what's in those games. I love those games. I adore them. Some of my favorite old games ever. No complaints about that. However, I was looking for something a little more modern, and I've been just dabbling in everything. I played a bunch more of Anno 18, which came out, or 1800, which came out last year, or early 2020, I guess. Or
Never played it.
Late 2019. Anyway, Ubisoft publishes that series, famous for their city builder type games, and they jump all over the place. There'll be one edition of the game will be in the 1600s, and suddenly the next one's in 2058. Like, they go all over the place. This newest game is set in 1800, turn of the century, England, and you trying to branch out on your own and start a new colony, and there's a whole story and everything. And their last game in 2015 from the same developer and publisher was Anno 2505 or whatever, 2705, whatever it was. It's way in the future, and you're building space elevators and all kinds of weird shit. But they're kind of based all on the same rough structural, control and kind of how those games work. So I've been playing those a whole bunch, and it's all because this one game I'm reviewing this week just sent me on a tear, and I haven't been able to stop since. So I'll tell you all about that in a second as we talk about the games we played. My first game. Now, you don't want to say this, right? You're going to make me say it. You don't want to say the name.
I mean, well, yeah. I make you say it so that you can say it like you're supposed to be said.
I'll tell you what. I'll say it. The game is Nebuchadnezzar. And
good job.
Yep. If you are familiar with history, you will know what Nebuchadnezzar is.
That's was in the Matrix.
And not from that so much, but yeah, I get it. It's a very early Mesopotamia, sort of early man sort of time. It's set in a very ancient place, and you're doing a lot of ancient shit. And if I had to compare this to any of these games I've mentioned so far, this is very, very in the vein of those old Impressions games, Caesar and Pharaoh and all those. Like, this is them saying, hey, we loved those. What if there was more of that? This is two guys who used to work in mainstream game development and publishing who finally said, all right, we've done that. Now let's jump out on our own and do our own thing. Let's go make a game. This is the game they decided they wanted to make, called Nebuchadnezzar, named after the king, the famous king.
Yeah.
And
one or two.
I don't know. Did he probably had sons. I don't know enough about that history. I feel like I should.
Right. I know nothing about it. All I know is I Google search Nebuchadnezzar and Kanye West comes up first.
Well, he's the king of all. So what do you expect? Right. He ain't saying she's a gold digger. Okay, that's not what he's saying. But anyway, the point is, well, he got divorced, didn't he? Just now, didn't that just happen?
Just now, like this week,
like 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway, maybe she was a gold digger. What am I trying to say? So this game is the chat room seeing screens right now, and if you were, if you didn't know better, you'd say, "Oh my gosh, this is one of those. This is that exact game." It is even done in a 2D isometric style. The artwork and everything used in it is not 3D freaking polygonal stuff. They've gone back to a more traditional 2D art style, and for some reason, the person reading this is really slow, so we're going to.
It really is like really reading it.
Yeah, he's giving all the.
I can't decide from the art style if it's more Age of Empires or if it's more Civ. What is that? Civ 4 or something like that.
I mean, maybe those both have a place because they were also 2D back in the day. I mean,
right.
For me, the look in comparison to those Impressions games is undeniable because they all look like this. They were all very much like this. So. You start with houses. You got a little road that began there. Right now, it's all scenarios and a campaign. That's the main core of the game. It's not an early access. It's like a full released title. But they're just about to add a massive update, which I'll get to in a second, and it's an important one. And it's probably the one that takes this from being a probably recommend to a must-have. And I'll get to that in a second. So you build your houses. Boy, this guy's bad. Hold on. Sorry. I picked the wrong dude.
It is hard. These games are always fun to play, but they're hard to watch because there's a lot of reading and thinking. And
I think but he's a little harder because he keeps going back to stuff he shouldn't. He's being fiddly. But anyway, you build farms, you build stuff. You got water. You got to get water from the rivers. So you do a bunch of
aqueducts.
Not aqueducts. Irrigation
ladies
canals.
With pails in their heads.
Yeah, that works too. They walk around. The one thing missing from this game, actually, if you and people will notice this if they're looking, one of the things those games featured was people constantly walking around in the city. Now, when you first lay down your houses, a whole bunch of people come into town and they walk in there and you see them do this, and that's there. But once they fill up the houses, they disappear. If I had any complaint about the current state of the game, it's that there really isn't a lot of activity. So you're just sort of working within the systems, but some of that polish isn't there in terms of, animation and just things moving around. Right. That's about to change.
People making little chatters and stuff. I always like the chatter.
And there is a lot of that. There's a lot of chatter. There's a lot of city sound. There's a lot of great music. In fact, the sound I'm going to play today is just that. So I'm going to play a little bit of this. Check this out. Here we go. It's just a little bit of the soundtrack. This will give you an idea of what kind of vibe they're aiming for here.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's a mix of sort of epic sweeping orchestral stuff mixed with like ancient guitar-y things. Brian was doing that bass or that drum thing. All right, so there's some of that. Here's more. Let's skip that. So it's a lot of this sort of stuff, like very era-specific stuff.
Down.
It's very cool. And they really got me with the soundtrack. I think the interface is amazing. It's one of my favorite things about it. That's really strong on the interface side of things. The lack of people moving around much. Is annoying. Jeez. But I found out something just yesterday about that and a few other features that are coming to this game, and soon they have me really stoked. So their 1.1 patch will include. By the way, so again, 2 people made this game. All right. 2 people.
Right. Well, I got news for you.
Yeah.
The game I played, 2 people made.
2 people. Oh, my gosh. 4 people total in this whole world made 2 games.
2 people.
Man, that's crazy.
It's crazy.
So this game, one of the things I like about it, in the old Impressions games, if you wanted to have, say, the firefighter guy or the equivalent of a police officer, or where the food people went to travel around to give food to people who lived in the homes.
Food people.
Food people. I need food.
The food people are here.
They would wander around the roads, but there was no rhyme or reason to it. You kind of had to guess a little bit about what routes they were going to take, and you had to put road blockers in places so they wouldn't go in a direction you didn't want them to go. Things like that. It was fine, but this game smartly says, dude, it's 2021. We got some ideas here. And so they made it so per delivery person, walker job lady from the market, you can walker job
I love
lady.
that the class of citizen was not something obviously they stuck in your face very much.
Yeah, that's a good point. But you set her very down to a very fine point. You set her routes. You say you start here and you go around here and you come back and you do it again. So you can tell her exactly what to do. And the other employee lady at the same market, you can tell her to go a different way if you want to get different houses covered or whatever. So you have a lot of control over that stuff that you don't have in those older games. A lot of those kind of mechanics are here and they're great. Like all the underpinning systems are very, very strong. Like I say, my only real complaint, other than the way this guy's playing it and not zooming in ever and stuff like that, is that it just seems a little bit on the lifeless side. There's just, you see that little dude moving back and forth with his wagon. He's delivering goat's milk to that warehouse, and then the warehouse is storing goat's milk, which eventually you're going to sell or trade or use for the people.
Goat's milkman here. The goat's milkman is here.
And you have to tell that person how to walk around your town with the milk so that they know where to go. Right. And if you do that, the homes improve. So the homes will automatically kind of level up based on you walking by and going, hey, got some milk. Ooh, we got milk. All right. Our house is cooler now. It's bigger.
Nebuchadnezzar, your son looks like the goat milks man.
That's right. You start milk before you know it, you'll be king. So get that milk out there. Anyway, so there's a lot of that going on, and it's all those systems. I feel like I'm describing stuff that a lot of people are already familiar with, and they may not be. The Zeus games are like this too. All those old Impressions games, this is that template, and they're copying that directly. This new patch will bring wandering, walking, talking people that you can click on and find out what they're doing and everything else. That's coming. And the next update also includes a full sandbox mode. Right now, the game doesn't have a full sandbox mode. He's doing routes for his sellers. See that? There you go.
I saw that. I like that.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Is that common in? I mean, no,
that's what I'm saying. This is like the first time I've seen this, and all those old games I never had good route stuff. It sucked.
Right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so it's pretty good. Anyway, so this game would never be proper and good until there was a sandbox mode. That's just required of these games. All right, you can't have the long tail on this game can never be, oh, we just decided not to make sandbox mode. You have to make that. That is literally end game for some people. That's the only game. Like when you do a city builder, you can have all the cool campaign in the world, and there's nothing wrong with that. But give me a big ass open thing where I can just build away and make my own damn deal. All right, so that's coming. They seem super engaged with their players and have been really open and frequent with communication. They talk on the discussion boards all the time. This is focused entirely on a single player experience like those old games were, so they're not worried about a bunch of multiplayer crap or balancing or anything like that. They're doing a taxes and wages overhaul, so there's a bunch of other stuff coming. Anyway, this is one to absolutely keep your eye on. It's, like I say, out of early access, so it's not one of those. It's a full release game, but looks like it's going to have an active treatment. Currently $19.99 on the store. The developer is Nepos Games, or Nepos, Nepos. It's like nerdy.
And it's just two guys who have developed the game as well as publishing themselves, correct?
Yeah, they're doing the whole thing, all on Steam.
Right.
And right now it's only on Steam, I should mention. Their description is Nebuchadnezzar is a classic isometric city builder game inviting players to experience the mysterious history and culture of ancient Mesopotamia. In the campaign, players get to rule over influential historical cities filled with magnificent monuments. That is putting it lightly. I'll just say this. I have been on the hunt for something like this since 1999, since 2000, since right around the height of those Impressions games.
Brent, stop singing that song. Wow.
And nobody has been able to deliver, not the way I want them to. And this, so far, closest I've gotten. There's a couple other cool ones floating around Twitter or on Steam that are in various stages of early access or alpha or whatever. None of them are ready for prime time. Some just straight up aren't out at all. There's one called, not Building Egypt. Yeah, shit. It's very similar. They're trying to do kind of a Pharaoh thing. It does have a 3D engine, but it sticks mostly to this format. But this one's the one that really made me say, "Oh, they're true fans. Like they really want to make the game I'm jonesing to play." And I really like it so far. But when I heard that 1.1 update's coming, they don't have an exact date for it, but it's supposed to be soon, like soon. That made me realize that I can't go spend a ton more time in it until I have that sandbox mode, because that's really what I want the most. So anyway, it's out now, available now, $19.99, available now on Steam, and you should go get it, because if any of this sounded cool to you, then you know what I'm talking about, because these games are great.
And then you know what I'm talking about. And by the way, I'm looking at Steam right now, and you're the only one of my friends who owns that game.
Well, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, there's a reason why it's been almost 18, 19 years till somebody's tried anything in this genre, because I think a lot of people just kind of forgot about it or didn't care.
And it has not been recommended to me at all by Steam. You know, I take a, you know, I keep a watch on my recommendations, and I didn't see anything. So I don't know if it's because the algorithm's like, you don't really play these kind of games, and none of your friends have it except for Scott. Wow. And just I've never seen it, so I'm glad you brought it up.
Yeah, usually that stuff will happen more if you show a tendency toward these kinds of games. Like I've got this originally was recommended to me by Steam, and then I reached out to the developer and said I'd love to play this game, and through Keymailer got a code.
Right.
But having played it already, I mean, this is the one I would easily recommend people spend money on.
It just came out on the 17th, so it's been
pretty new. Recent, so get your hands on it while it's hot, and watch for big updates coming from the folks at Nepos Games, Nepos, however you say it. They're in Prague.
Nepos.
So maybe I'm saying it wrong because they're in Prague, and Prague's a heart. You know, they got their own way of talking in Prague.
Hey, how do you think they say Nebuchadnezzar?
They say
Nebuchadnezzar.
I don't know what they say.
Nebuchadnezzar.
Yeah, that's how South Carolinians say it. That's how you say it.
That's right. I forgot.
So anyway, again, Nebuchadnezzar. It's spelled crazy because that's the way of things.
That's the way Nebuchadnezzar. If you can't find it, just
in a way, I like that, because to me that just means they have some nuts to just go for like the hardest historical
spelling
name.
This.
Yeah. I mean, it's NEBUCHADZZAR. Like, it's a beast, that word.
That is a beast, man.
Anyway, it's very cool. Been looking for it for years. Can't wait to keep following it. In the meantime, though, I am playing a little bit of Anno, the future one from 2015. I'm playing the 1800 from last year. And those games are very cool. They don't have quite the options I like out of these sorts of games, but now I'm on a tear. Now I want to play them all. This is what happens to me. Every once in a while, I get a genre tickle, and I just got to have it all, and I can't stand not having it all. And so I'm going to play them all. Okay? That's the deal. That's
I'm excited.
How it's gonna go.
And that's a tough order, because these kind of sims are time intensive.
Oh yeah, but it's time well spent.
Eat your time up.
I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Because I mean, when you get through, after you spend like a 24-hour gaming session, and you walk away and you go like, that was productive.
Mm-hmm. Oh, chat reminds me, it's Builders of Egypt. That's the other Egyptian one.
Oh yeah, Builders of Egypt.
And that's currently a free thing. You can just go get that, but it's much slower to update, and there's not a lot there yet. But it's cool.
Just over the years, if you say it's free, it scares me.
Well, it's free now. They plan to sell it. They basically call it Prologue. They plan on having
a prologue. Now I trust a prologue.
Yeah, they plan on having a fully retail game. I just think they're so early that they want testing without the money.
I trust the words demo and prologue. I don't trust free.
Yeah, free can get you in trouble these days. You better be Fortnite, or else no one knows who you are.
No, all right. And that's not free, because I got to buy dance every time I turn around.
Damn straight. Now, here's a game I almost picked up called Rogue Heroes: Ruins of the Tacos. Just kidding. Of Tasos.
Tasos is how I say it.
So, Brian, tell me about that game.
Oh, hey, look, just two more guys loving games and making a thing for two other guys just playing games. That's us. So we also had the same deal. Heliocentric is the studios who's made this game. Team 17, one of our favorite publishers here on the show, obviously. Yep. We play a lot of these games. And it's just what it sounds like. It's Rogue Heroes. You get to play as a rogue. Do you remember Zelda, A Link to the Past? Do you remember that game?
I do, a great deal.
Well,
I loved Zelda,
then you're probably gonna like, at least when you jump into this game, that aspect, because this is a pixel game, top down, very much in the vein of the Zelda. Link to the Past, and you just going to travel back to the merry old land of Tasos, where the 4 goddesses have locked away the 4 titans of chaos. They've caused a lot of trouble in the Tasos land, and they've been locked away for a very long time. But as life would have it, Tasos has moved on, and new people are there. They killed a lot of the natives. A little genocide, start your game off. And right,
just to get you going, a little genocide to start you off, yeah.
Okay. Right. So you're a rogue, and what would a rogue game be like without some dungeons? And that's where you've got to dive deep and check out on the Titans, because the Titans are starting to create problems in the overworld, and you've got to get in there and beat these guys back. So that's going to be your boss fights.
Let me ask you this: there. Is it?
Yes.
What was the word I was going to look for?
Is it a roguelike?
Well, no. It's obvious they've got a big focus on 4-player co-op in this game.
Yes.
How's the solo play? Because that
you'll
I would probably
notice
mostly play this by myself.
I didn't mention that first. Now I'm going to go ahead and say up top, I like this game as a revisit to a gaming time like Zelda: A Link to the Past.
Yeah.
The thing they tried to distinguish here was this 4-player co-op where you get to all play as either the default class or possibly like a ranger or other classes, that thief, and so you can get in here with your friends and play. I do not feel like that part of the game is fully baked. This game is not early access.
It's just
you can play 4-player local co-op. So if I've got it on Steam, I can do remote play if I want to. But there's no the classes are very. I mean, you start out is the basic hero, adventurer, and any other class you pick, you start out the same. You have just a little bit of difference between the characters. Like a thief can disappear for a second, but not really a great advantage in any battling. So I will say that I feel like the class system and the co-op part is not really there yet. It's just not. And it kind of disappoints me because this is not early access. It's been fully released. Now, that's the complaint. That's not a big deal.
Is this you fighting this blob? Am I watching you here?
Absolutely, you're watching me get mowed over by this blob. I discovered some things I was doing incorrectly later on. So, but anyway, so do not let what I just said about this game deter you from getting this game, because it's at $20. It's on the Switch and on Steam. That's the only 2 locations you'll find it. And I was kind of glad to see that it was on Switch, because I was like, man, this is so Zelda. I'm like, ooh, they're going to run into some trouble with Nintendo. But apparently they did not. And maybe because of the promise of the 4-player and the different aspects of it that differentiate it from it.
There's nothing Nintendo owns about you can have puzzle dungeons and stuff like that.
I know, but Nintendo, they'll find a way. So anyway, I will say that it is well worth the $20 if you have any interest in Zelda: A Link to the Past or games such as that. These top-down pixel games where you're roguing and dungeon crawling. You're gonna love this for $20.
I do love these games. I'm a huge fan.
Yeah. And maybe the co-op and the classes will get better, but I think just from my own personal outside layman's opinion, I would have focused less on those 2 things and focused more on classes, and then got to the co-op deal eventually.
I see.
But I'm worried that's gonna. This has been something that's historically been a problem for games for a really long time, whether or not to add multiplayer to a game, because it creates levels of complexity that can really stall out the creative aspects of a game, because you end up with so many technical issues.
Right.
So
interesting.
But
it looks like my kind of jam.
I think you're gonna love this. I did receive this as a game code to play. Team 17 developer, I believe, was the one who sent it to me. Got it through Keymailer. Like I said, this came out recently on February 23rd, and it is anywhere from 14 hours to 105 hours to beat. You can be a total completist because these are procedurally generated dungeons, and you really can get quite deep. Matter of fact, I am still at 10 hours in. I am still on the first dungeon. It is a 3-level dungeon, and I have only encountered the boss one time. But you know me, I'm a slow play. I like playing these games. I played Link to the Past 2 hours at a time for a year last year. I don't know. Yeah, so that was
for a year.
This,
you played it for a year for at 2 hours
I
at a time.
played it for a year for 2 hours at a time.
Wow.
So that was enjoyable for me though. I like jumping in and doing a couple of dungeon runs, and then just it's okay. I die. That's what you're supposed to do. You go back. By the way, the gems are the system currency by which you collect in these dungeons, and then you go back and you can do the part I didn't talk about yet, which is kind of interesting. There's some city management or town management that you do in this game. Instead of going right in and having shops and everything else set up for you, you have to earn some gems and get Griff. Griff, he comes in and he will start building some houses for you, and he'll start unlocking areas for you in stores so you can upgrade both potions and equipment and armor and your health. There's a hospital that you can do as well. And the tailor part is really one of the more interesting aspects of that. If you go to the tailor and you have a thread, you can unlock additional characters, such as a ranger, a thief. I'm trying to remember what other characters there are. There's a whole bunch of them. Let me see if it's listed.
I want to be a ranger. That's what I want to be.
I like being a ranger myself.
Yeah.
It is that's my jam. But there was stuff like seems like there was like a scientist, because you got like a scientist guy in there. I don't know exactly what he does. Maybe throw some bottles or something. I'm not sure. I haven't gotten that far yet.
Yeah.
But
science bottles. Yeah, I get it.
What's that?
He's throwing science bottles at everybody. That's pretty
He's
cool.
throwing science bottles at people. So yeah, I like this game a lot. So I'm gonna have to give this game 7 gems out of 10 trips to the dungeon to die for some more gems.
All right.
And like I said, I would recommend it, but don't be too invested in the idea of playing co-op.
Yeah.
Because I haven't played it yet locally, but I've played enough of these games that I kind of know what I'm going to experience, and I'm gonna try a little local co-op this weekend. It's going to be interesting, I'm sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm curious about this game. I think I'm going to grab it.
Right. If the classes were more robust, I think it would be enjoyable to play co-op, because I can only imagine that it's going to be a couple of people, and we're all going to have the same basic abilities.
Yeah.
And it's not really going to affect any of the rooms. It's just mostly it's going to be a bunch of
just playing together stuff.
Yeah, where it's going to be all hacking and slashing the screen away until we clear the area.
Well, it's fine with me if what that means is it's got really strong solo play, then count me in, because I don't.
Yeah, solo play is great. I really enjoy myself so far.
Ooh, a glass grappling hook.
Whoa. Oh, I didn't mention that. So as you go along, you can unlock items, but it is a long process to get the weapons, especially for your own character. Which, by the way, you can play any character and get pretty much any weapon. Which I'm like, what about classes?
Yeah.
Anyway. You will, in the dungeons, you will get glass items that are similar to the permanent items, except, of course, they are destroyed at the end of your run.
Oh, I see.
So,
I see.
That
makes sense.
It's like having
it's like a temporary rune, except in this case, a weapon or whatever.
Right, exactly. And the overworld's pretty interesting, too. You've got, I didn't even talk about stamina either. That is a huge factor in this game. You got a stamina bar for both your normal movement as well as your class-based skill.
Also, just swinging a weapon, right?
So you have to really manage that, because you'll get in trouble. You'll see right now I'm fighting these flying electric squids.
Yeah.
And I wasn't doing very well, especially like against snakes. Snakes are the worst. You'll knock them in a jar, and they'll come flying out, and they'll come running at you. And they're actually pretty resilient, and they'll just keep flying at you, and you'll run out of stamina, and they'll just swarm you. So
snakes are
like
dicks.
I said, single player experience was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Puzzle solving, as I'm doing right now, or puzzle not solving, is what I'm probably not doing right there.
The idea of a glass bow is pretty funny. Like, just how does that even work? Exactly.
I know it's it works okay. Limited ammo, of course. So you'll run across a dealer when you're going through the floors. They're tempting you to pawn off what little gold you make. Oh, I didn't cover the stuff. There's farming in this because what you do is you can farm and then you can sell. You can take that to like a shop. And then they'll sell it overnight, and you'll get coins for that. And coins are important because some chests you can open up for free, but then other times you have to have coins to open up those chests. The gemstones.
Why'd you blow up that switch?
I was testing. I was testing everything. This was still early on. This is like some of the first gameplay I did. I was just testing everything.
That clip thing is cool, or that claw.
Yeah, that grapple. Yeah, the grapple is pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah, I could have fun with
It's very effective. I wish I had it in the overworld because there's an area I need to get to, but I can't because I don't have the stupid grapple. I haven't been able to unlock it yet. What's it saying? Oh, the gemstones. You spend them in town. If whatever you don't spend, when you return to the dungeon, you have to sacrifice those gems.
Oh, interesting.
So,
okay.
Yeah. So there's a lot of balancing mechanics that have made these runs pretty fun for me. Like I said, but don't worry about the co-op. Yeah. It's there, okay? It's there.
It's not crucial to your life. It sounds like
it's not crucial to my enjoyment.
Okay, well, that's good for me to hear because this is probably the way I'll play it.
Right.
All right, go check it out, everybody. Again, Rogue Heroes: Ruins of Tasos or Tasos.
I say Tasos and then Tasos, and then I forget what I said. So
yeah, it's kind of one of those words. It's a little hard to do. The main name of the game, Rogue Heroes, sounds like just every mobile game ever, and so I'm a little bugged by the name, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
It does, but it's fine.
It's like one of those random mobile game name generators where you just take random stuff.
Like we talked a few weeks ago. It's exactly the same thing.
Yeah.
By the way, the music is fine. I didn't mention it because there's nothing really to mention about it. The voiceover work is mostly mumbles and grunts and stuff, and it's fine. It's good. Yeah. It's effective.
Gets the job done.
It gets the job done.
I like the look a lot. This looks like maybe a Switch game for me. I might do that.
I would, if I was to pick this up, I was sent the Steam game code. That's because what I requested. If I was to pick this up, and I probably still am, I'm going to pick it up for the Switch. I think this is really going to shine on the Switch.
Yeah, it'd be a good game for that. All right. So there it is, guys. Our two games today, Nebuchadnezzar for the PC and Rogue Heroes for the PC and Switch. Go check them out. They're both available now. Oh, I didn't play this. Here's some sound from it.
That's you exhausted.
Some dungeon business. Oh, yeah, this is totally my jam. I love stuff like this. Just lots of banging onto stuff and cutting things open. It's great.
Oh, yeah. It's very effective.
All right. Well done. Now, what now? This.
It's a me, Mario!
Hey, it's time for us to guess each other's game. That's right. We take a game from yesterday and we try to play a sound from it. And if the other guy gets it, then he gets nothing. He just has cool bragging rights that he got it. So we're gonna do that today. I'm gonna start with a game from the year 1986.
Oh, 86.
Yeah, a long time ago. 86 is a big year in my memory because there were a lot of cool movies that year. I had a girlfriend.
So that made it super cool.
It was cool. I was in high school. It was great. So anyway, here it is. Let's play it and see if you can figure it out. Arcade, I'll tell you that. All right? Here you go.
Arcade.
That's how the game starts. Any ideas yet?
Does the game include vehicles of any sort?
It does. Little tanks.
Yeah.
But you have mostly it's on foot, but then it's on tank for sometimes at the time of it, and you need gas for the tank.
Oh, yeah, I know this game. Oh, God, what is it, though? I can hear it and I can see it, but I can't recall the name.
Oh, I can pump. My quarters were going in this game often. I love this game.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I totally know this game. Oh, my God, but what is it? What's the...
I'll give you one more hint. It was published by SNK.
Okay, so Sega, Nintendo, right?
Well, no,
kidding,
arcade. SNK in the arcade was part of one of their
Right.
big SNK machines.
Right.
Listen to that.
Just can't think of it. I can't think of it. You have to give it to me. I'm lost.
All right, the game was called Ikari Warriors.
Ikari Warriors. Yes,
Ikari Warriors. I
can't
love that
spell
game.
that.
Chat room's not wrong to say things like Metal Slug, because it sounds like Metal Slug. Like, that's the sound of it, and that's an SNK game as well, obviously.
Right.
So it's kind of easy to mix those two up. But it was this top-down, kind of behind the back, but camera pulled way out, sort of walk forward and shoot bad guys game.
Yeah.
And
we had this in our arcade. I didn't play it.
Yeah, it was like Commando
That's what I was wanting to say, but I knew it wasn't Commando.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of games like that, but they all kind of played like that.
Now, last week I felt bad because I gave you kind of a hard one.
Yeah.
And so this week I gave you an easy one.
Well, here's a softie. Chat room says that last game was a little bit like kind of a rip-off of Rambo. Yeah, kind of was.
Yeah.
Kind of was. That's the
Matter of
era
fact,
we
I
lived
think
in.
the first time I saw it, I thought it was Rambo.
Yeah, I think that we were meant to think that.
Right.
It was a game from Japan who didn't have the rights to use Rambo, so they made up their own Rambo. All right, playing Brian's. Here it is.
Brain.
You are the lonely one. No one will be there to sing.
Plasmids changed everything. They destroyed our bodies, our minds. We couldn't handle it.
Years
Best
2007.
friends butchering one another. Babies strangled in cribs.
Oh, that's Andrew Ryan talking. He said plasmids, so this has to be BioShock.
It is.
Yeah, there you go. It's BioShock, everybody. BioShock.
I picked a whole bunch of segments out of that game, and I was like, no, that's going to be too hard. And I'm like, maybe he won't catch that plasmids. And I'm like, if he does,
plasmids
we'll make it a little better.
I played the hell out of those. Plus, that voice of Andrew Ryan never quite left my brain, so it's kind of hard to get him out of there.
And that was a game that totally consumed an entire year for me. I mean, I just played it,
was a hell of a game.
and over again.
Hell of a game. Kind of wish there was. Well, I know we got BioShock 2. No, System Shock 2, which BioShock came out of. Those developers, and I know that's coming. So maybe, or that remake, or whatever that is they're doing now.
Yeah. It's kind of a remake.
Yeah.
Have you played the demo yet?
No, I have not touched that demo. Did you like it?
I like the demo. I think I should show it to you. I can't remember.
You talked about it here.
I like it.
Yeah, I think you talked about it a little bit.
I think I talked about it a little bit. I'm excited about it.
Real quick question on this Rogue Heroes game. These chests that have a gold amount above them, does that mean that's how much is in the chest, or how much you got to pay to open it?
It's how much you pay. So you got to collect those gold coins usually through farming or swiping at trees in the overworld. That's mainly where you get those. And then you unlock those chests, and they generally contain gems, which you can then spend in the overworld. So that's usually
gems. That's truly outrageous. Get it?
It really is. And so like another thing for the coins too is when you meet that underworld merchant who materializes, he'll sell you like a health elixir if you have a bottle on you. Very Zelda in that way. Got a bottle? Want to fill it up with some elixir?
Yeah, let's put some elixir in there.
Yeah.
Elixir. Well, congratulations. I did it. I guessed your game. I'm ahead this week. Take that, everybody. All right, time for this. Oh, looky. We got an email from listener. His name is David. And he said, hey, I should write an email at the Boop Show address, boopshow@gmail.com. And then the internet said, sure, go ahead. And he did. And this is what he said. Hey, Scott and Brian, it's been almost 3 months since they pulled Cyberpunk from the PlayStation Store due to the quality of the product, and it's still not back there. Looking back to last year, did you ever think did you ever think this would be the way things were going to shake out for CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk? David. Well, David, no, I didn't.
No, I didn't see it coming.
They could do no wrong there for a while. PC version of that game running great. They still haven't put out their big patch that's supposed to fix everything for everyone always. Whether that ever happens, I don't know. But yeah, those Xbox One and in particular PlayStation 4 players really got screwed on that deal.
Yeah, they really
And
did.
I hope y'all got your money back,
sucks.
because you can ask for it back, and they'll give it back. But
yeah, I love CD Projekt Red, and I wanted Cyberpunk to be, and I was really kind of mad because I got the game and I played it. I ran into a few bugs. I was playing on the PC.
I mean, we love The Witcher 3. That's all we were going off of. We just assumed they'd get this right. So I don't know. I have a hard time with. I can't play it right. I have it on PC. It looks amazing on my rig. There's no reason I shouldn't enjoy it there, but I have a hard time playing it because I'm a little sour on it. And
yeah, me
and that's
too.
No good either.
It's not. And I think in a couple of, probably maybe a season 2 passes, I'll probably be like, all right.
Yeah.
I'm over it.
Yeah, give it some time, dude. Don't clear this out like a bad poo.
But didn't see it. Yeah. 2020 was a year.
Yeah. Chat room's wondering if I was making a Gem and the Holograms reference earlier. Yes, I was. Gem is truly outrageous. Truly, truly, truly outrageous. My sister loved that show. Gem.
Yes, your sister.
Oh, yeah, it was me. I was really into Gem. And then She-Ra.
Hey,
and then,
I won't lie. Oh. I liked watching Gem.
I never watched Gem more than 4 minutes at a time. But I liked She-Ra okay. And I thought, what was the other one I liked?
Care Bears?
I found Care Bears kind of calming.
I love Care Bears. What are you talking about? That was the worst piece of trash. But it was so good. So tasty.
Good, tasty trash. Anyway, that's your email. And if you would like to have another one come in like David, you can. boopshow@gmail.com. All right, one thing I don't mention enough, we do stuff on Steam, especially Brian these days. You can catch him gaming all the time.
Yeah.
Not Steam, sorry. Twitch. Twitch.tv/Brian Dunaway. But don't confuse that with his Twitter account, which is the Brian Dunaway.
And if I could ever unthrone that guy, I'd take it away from him.
Remember when it was all Mission Deep? Deep.
I try. I still my Discord server is Mission Deep, and I consider falling back to that since that turd won't get off the other one.
Mm-hmm. You can still go to missiondeep.com and see the remnants of Brian's old comic, his old sci-fi comic that he had going.
Yeah, I mean it was the sister comic to the what was the black hole? What was the dark? What was it?
Oh, Dark Rim. Dark Rim.
Yeah.
Yeah. I still have Dark Rim. I don't do anything with it, but I own it. Darkrim.com.
I want to see the stats on that.
It's nothing, I'm sure. Actually, I don't even know where it goes. Let's see. Dark Rim.
Oh, it just goes to Frog Pants Studios.
It does. Yeah, I got anything I'm not using just forwards. So
right.
I'll get that thing. I'll see life one day, just not today.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's it. That's the show. Yep. frogpants.com/BOOP. You're going to want to use that frequently because that's the way you get a hold of us and find out all our other stuff and get subscribed to everything, find the other shows, all of it. frogpants.com/BOOP, boopshow@gmail.com, as I mentioned before. We're on Twitter @boopshow, the Brian Dunaway. I'm at Scott Johnson. And, I forgot to mention, if you want to be here for a live show on on, what is today? Tuesdays. 3:30 Mountain Time, 5:30 Eastern. You can just show up here and be here, and you'll be a part of it. So come do that and be a part of the live show right here at frogpants.tv, or if you'd prefer, twitch.tv/frogpants. All right. Hey, Brian, you got anything to add or say before we go today?
It's almost my birthday.
Oh, you got to celebrate hard, man. Whatever you do, make it good. Read your Atari book and play video games. How about that?
I'm going to read my Atari book and I'm going to fall asleep and it's going to hit me in the face.
That's fantastic. Thanks, everybody, for watching and listening. We will be back next time with more, so stay tuned. We'll see you then. This show is part of the Frog Pants Network.
Frog Pants Network.
Get more shows like this at frogpants.com.
I don't like Steam. I love Steam. You want me to say the words?